for a company that requires 85% of its revenue to come from advertising. You thought this was a good idea. You thought, like, this is the world's smartest man on display right now. This is the world's richest, smartest human. 85% of your revenue comes from advertising. And then you gave everyone, you gave, you know, Jabroni Pickle Rick 69 Hitler the power to become Nintendo of America if they want for just $8. He's like, it's such a thing of complete and utter beauty. And we all get to witness it publicly. Maybe I should start with that, because this story is fucking, it's pretty wild. It's like, this one is developing. It's like in the middle of happening right now. Matt Walsh. Okay, on second thought, the new verification process is kind of a shit show and makes the site even more unstable than it already is. It also isn't clear what exactly is being verified other than a user's willingness to spend $8. Verification is supposed to weed out the bots and trolls, but instead they've just empowered them even more. Brilliant strategy. Who could have seen this coming? Who could have predicted this? You know? Who fucking outside of everyone, like all of Twitter that is not conservative. Oh, you fucking rubes. You simple rubes, every one of you, you suckers, you fucking fools. Like every single leftist and liberal on Twitter was like screaming like, oh yeah, if Elon Musk actually implements all the things he's memeing about doing in a company, if he came to own it and all the things he's suggesting, if he did them, he would run that company into the ground so fast. And it was even faster than I ever thought possible. Like he's liquidating his own assets. And fucking, how are there still holdouts? How are there still weird nerds? How? Who are you? I guess I can find that out just because you have a check mark next to your name now. It's like you've all given yourself the mark of being the weird nerd Apu memes. And like that's basically what it is. You know? Good lord. The funniest website on the internet. Okay, I will give Elon Musk credit for this. He said he was going to bring comedy back to Twitter, and it is the funniest website on the internet now. It, like, bar none. Nothing comes close. People on Reddit are just fucking screenshotting what is happening in Twitter in real time. Like, the divorce dad energy of this website, the fucking POV from the sports car, you know, or the person, the person half his age that he's having an affair with, that is the experience that you get on Twitter now. You get to watch how the world's richest human, well, not anymore, how the world's previously richest human is basically lighting all of his assets on fire in real time because he doesn't know how to run a company. Because every single idea, like, I don't know what kind of sycophantic yes men you have to surround yourself with. Can I do that? How, like, where do I sign up? I could, like, for $500,000 a year, I can stand in front of you, Elon Musk, and I can say you're super smart, 9,000 IQ, big chungus, epic memes, 420, 69, bro. I could do that every day. If you're like, I think the only thing that will save the company at this point is if we mint Twitter, just the entirety of the app and the site as an NFT. I think that could turn things around. Yes, very smart, sir. Do that. Do the thing you just said out loud because you're very smart and that ideal will work and you will honestly make so much money. Everything that has been lost will come back to you. Also, yes, very good idea to put all of your money into cryptocurrency assets as that is currently plummeting. Very smart and good. Do all those things. Do more of it. Do more of that. Yes. Okay. Money, please. I will definitely, like, oh, that would be the best job. It would be so easy. You just have to sit there smiling the whole time. Hey, epic. Whoa, what's going on there, Mr. Musk? Oh, you're in a bit of hot water. Oh, what is that you say? Oh, you were trying to trade horses for hand jobs. You're actually trying to do kind of like a sexual assault thing, but you're using a bartering system. So if the person gets the horse, it's not sexual assault because you paid for consensual sex. Ah, interesting. What's that, Mr. Musk? Oh, you've impregnated a bunch more of your female subordinates. Yeah. Hey, my man, look at you. That is good stuff. Yeah, okay. Well, buy the dip, everyone. So if you're just tuning in, I'll start the story once again by reading out the one and only pedophile defender, Matt Walsh. Okay, on second thought, the new verification process is kind of a shit show and makes the site even more unusable than it was already. It also isn't clear what exactly is being verified, other than a user's willingness to spend $8. Verification is supposed to weed out the bots and trolls, but instead, they've empowered them even more. Brilliant strategy. So you don't get to be clever about this. No conservatives do. Not a single one of you, because you were all fucking... Oh, you were so horny for this. All of you. Just all of the right was fucking soying all over the place. Like, their keyboards were unusable because of all the soy. Just covered in soy. Fucking, they couldn't even see straight because their eyes were just covered in their own soy. It was nuts. You got what you paid for. This is it. You know, look, you wanted this. Like, all you fucking, everyone who believes in meritocracy, that somehow wealth equates with success, intelligence, all that kind of stuff, their worldview has been burning to the ground publicly. That's the most beautiful thing about this, is that Elon Musk, the world's previously richest man, is actually a fraud. He's a clown. He does not have good ideas. Everything he has suggested is the wrong fucking thing to do, and all the results that are happening, like, I'm, again, a jabroni on the internet. I could not run a fucking 100,000 employee company. I'll say that straight up. Yeah, I could not do that. But I could do better than Elon Musk did. I genuinely could have. In this case, like, everything that you did wrong is what everyone, like, and I'm not clever in this regard. Everyone said this. Like, every liberal and everyone on the left, or every leftist, or anyone who was basically to the left of center and saw what was happening was like, oh, that's a really bad idea. Yeah, I'm just saying from the perspective of, like, do you know why the check marks even existed in the first place? It was because of a lawsuit, because someone was impersonating someone else, and so that system got in place. Like, okay, the libs probably just love things the way they are. As a leftist, here's what I think. I think everyone should have the right to have a check mark for no cost. I think it should be a free thing. You can do verifications the same way other websites do. How is Pornhub a better system than fucking Twitter? Like, you just have to verify your identity. You know, hold a piece of paper up that says, like, Twitter on it, and then, like, they take a picture of you, and then boom, something to that effect. Not that you should ever do that now, by the way. This has got to be one of the least secure sites on the internet. Change your passwords up, delete your DMs, change your legal name on the site, whatever it is, because this stuff most likely is going to be hacked and leaked in due time, in very due time, you know? But I do want to tell you about something that Elon gave me. He gave me a gift. I've said this before. Dave Chappelle was one of my biggest inspirations in life. I find the man so talented, so funny. I think he's one of the goats of stand-up comedy. As a comedian myself, I grew up just crying with laughter at his skits, and he was also subversive and intelligent. And the Chappelle Show skits, they weren't just about, you know, making sounds and being funny. They were teaching people about systemic racism. So I thought, like, oh man, this guy can do no wrong. And so it was very devastating for me to see Dave Chappelle turn into one of the world's most famous TERFs. It really did break my heart. Yesterday I got to interact with him. I was in the middle of doing some tweets, and while I was, you know, tweeting, I noticed that someone had replied to me. That person who replied to me was none other than the real Dave Chappelle. I know it was real because it had a check mark next to its name. So I was like, whoa, Dave Chappelle is a fan of mine. I clicked on the account, going through the process, and noticed they didn't have any followers, and none of their tweets had any likes, which is weird. It is a weird thing that they didn't really have followers or any likes on their tweets, even though it was the real Dave Chappelle. I mean, it had the icon, it had the verified check mark, everything was there. So, seeing that it was the real Dave Chappelle because of the check mark, and then seeing that Dave Chappelle had made one tweet in particular, that tweet was this: "Trans women are women, no longer Team TERF, y'all." I was like, wow, the real Dave Chappelle has done a 180. I don't know why this doesn't have any likes or any retweets right now. I don't know why it has zero interaction, considering, again, it's the real Dave Chappelle. So I was like, I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna do my part. And I retweeted it. And after I retweeted it, about an hour later, it had almost 30,000 likes. Now, I couldn't take a screenshot of that because Elon Musk doesn't like Dave Chappelle for some reason, or I don't know. The account is nuked. It's been roasted. I don't know why they did that. Maybe the take was too controversial, but it was up for well over an hour by that point. And then after this tweet, Dave Chappelle says, Twitter is now the most accurate source of information about the world, which is, I mean, just backing up what Elon said. This is what Elon Musk said. He said Twitter is going to become the most accurate source of information in the world, and Dave Chappelle was agreeing with him. That's the other part. I don't see why Elon was mad at Dave Chappelle, because he was genuinely, this is an accurate statement, you know? Or maybe it's just because Elon Musk is a bit of a transphobe himself. I'm not sure. I'm gonna thank you, Elon Musk. I have to thank you. I never would have had this interaction before. But Dave Chappelle said to me, "Thank you, Lance. You are an inspiration to many." Like, I want to cry. This is so beautiful. Thank you, Dave Chappelle. I appreciate it. And thank you for not being a TERF anymore. You came around. You did a full 180. That's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. And he got roasted speaking the truth. You know? That's all there is to this. He came out, he spoke the truth, and they took him down. In a totally unrelated note, I want to show all of you what I consider to be something of a highlight reel. If you don't use Twitter, and I understand why you wouldn't, it's a dumpster fire that's dying in real time. The man running it, the smartest man on the planet, both based on the amount of money he has and what his fans have been saying, came up with an idea, a power to the people thing. He thought that it would be a good idea to be able to give anyone the ability to buy a verified checkmark. And by doing so, it would look, if you happen to be a troll, for example, as if you were an official account, as long as that account could stay up, of course, before a now very limited team of people, because a lot of the staff has been fired, scramble to try and identify which are and which are not real accounts. So last night, because it was the first day of Twitter Verified being unlocked, a tidal wave appeared, and it came in fast and furious. So for the low price of $8 a month, you can become George Bush for a day. That's right. Anyone can become anyone and say things as that person. Yes, and it's real. You know it's real because, again, they have the check mark. George W. Bush, the war criminal, I miss killing Iraqis. He admitted. He admitted. Then George Bush says, y'all are missing the point about the $8. It's a small price to make this app completely unusable, and I'm assuming is going to quickly learn we can get refunds from the credit cards we used if he suspends us prior to a month. Is what I would say if someone other than the greatest president America's ever known. I mean, I knew he was cocky. I didn't know he was that cocky. Time for me to get Twitter and become Chico. It'll cost you $8. The real Ben Shapiro. Matt Walsh won't stop calling me and talking about genitalia. Oh, Matt. Gross. Then President Biden comes over here. I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I mean, yeah, I hope that was a staffer, because if that was the president, I imagine at his age, it kind of won't do anything. But O.J. Simpson, the real O.J. Simpson, confesses. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I did that shit. As you know, Dave Chappelle is reversing the stance. Trans women are women, no longer Team TERF, y'all. Very happy to see it. The real Tony Blair, when George Bush said, I miss killing Iraqis, he said same, to be honest. I mean, at least they admit it, you know? It's good they're coming out and saying this kind of stuff. What did Rudy Giuliani say? Nancy Pelosi and I do not agree on many things, but them things thangin'. I'll tell you what. Wow. Horny on Maine, Rudy. You know what's funny about this one? This one could actually be Rudy Giuliani. It's not even a parody at this point. Rudy Giuliani is a fucking bit of a horny pervert who fucked his cousin. I take it back. This new verification scheme is flawless. It's amazing. Starting today, we'll begin offering Twitter Gold, a free subscription that gets you yearly family vacations and nightly dinners with me. If your name is Grimes, please come back. I love you, says the real Elon Musk. Elon, that's so sad. That's so sad. Hey, by the way, Nintendo, what's going on here? This is the official Nintendo of America account. And you know what's also wild? This is one of the funniest things. So all the ads have basically pulled out at this point. All major companies. If you use Twitter, I don't even get regular ads anymore. I'll be honest with you. It's so funny. Like, I think was it 2 weeks ago? When did he take it? Time has no meaning. Either way, whenever Elon Musk took over, the day before that happened, I kid you not, I'm scrolling through my Twitter feed and it's like McDonald's ad, Tim Hortons ad, a Marvel film, ad, blah, 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 Black Panther 2, kind of shit. And then the day after, it switches to like my pill guy, fucking cryptocurrency, fucking Brainforce Plus style stuff, and you're just like, oh, the quality of these ads has just like plummeted dramatically, and now they're just gone. I'm not even getting the weird crypto ones anymore. I feel like even they're like, is it worth it? I don't know if this money's gonna do anything. And for a company that requires 85% of its revenue to come from advertising, you thought this was a good idea. You thought, like, this is the world's smartest man on display right now. This is the world's richest, smartest human. 85% of your revenue comes from advertising. And then you gave everyone, you gave fucking, Jabroni Pickle Rick 69 Hitler the power to become Nintendo of America if they want for just $8. He's like, it's such a thing of complete and utter beauty, and we all get to witness it publicly, and like there are times when the internet restores my faith in humanity. There are times when all of a sudden, like memes especially, when you see people like, do you all remember when I can't remember her name. She's a celebrity. She fell, white blonde woman. And when she fell, it kind of looks funny. And then everyone started memeing her on the internet. And then she was like riding a dolphin. And then she was like riding a wave. No, not Jennifer Lawrence. She's in the movie with Bill Murray. I'm totally pulling a brain fart right now. Scarlett Johansson. Thank you, Robo Gaming. Scarlett Johansson. So that restored my faith in the internet when Scarlett Johansson just fell in this weird thing, and then all of a sudden, or in humanity, because like all of a sudden all these people just out meme each other, and they just become funnier and funnier and better and better. So like memes, usually I'm like, oh, collectively we're working together, this is praxis, baby. And then fucking this, like every single person who has been doing this, and by the way, you're paying $8, but I assume they're just burner accounts that everyone's making on the first day, and there's so many. Doja Cat, I don't want to be Christmas forever. Elon Musk, please help. I made a mistake. Oh, here's the other really funny thing about what happened. So the whole idea behind this was to give everyone the ability for a price to become a celebrity. That's the thing that Elon Musk is selling everybody, right? So for only $8, you can be just like every other verified account and feel super special. The problem being, though, is that some people bought this specifically because they wanted the feature that Elon Musk promised, that you would be able to edit tweets. Now, when you buy this feature, if you already had a checkmark, it replaces your previous checkmark with the purchased one. And you cannot edit tweets yet. So your account could get stuck, and you can't change your name. And so Doja Cat is now permanently called Christmas because of that reason. Which is apparently the official Twitter account. Whoa, Twitter Blue is now available for free. Crypto NFT holders can get Twitter Blue for free by authenticating their wallet assets. Authenticate now. Yeah, could be a massive scam where people are just trying to steal all your cryptocurrency, but I mean, it has the check mark. It has to be real. It's got the blue check mark. Yeah. It got 4,985 likes, 28,000 retweets. Hopefully someone didn't, like, goddamn, someone probably got a haul. This must have been massive. Pope Francis, as the apostle tells us in 2 Corinthians 11:14, the wicked may pose as the righteous and lay snares to trap the unwary. Social media has worsened this phenomenon. Our blessed store is the only authorized source for indulgences at $8 a month. Link in bio. Martin Luther then responds, the real Martin Luther, by the way. I got 95 theses, but this ain't it, chief. Pope John Paul I. Interesting that none of you are talking about how I was murdered by the mafia and the Vatican Bank. Maybe Google Gladio and open your third eye. Then Pope says, my brothers in Christ, this is unseemly and sows the sin of scandal. Please stop. Just get the fuck out. I'm in France, popping champagne and getting high, loving every minute of it. Pope Francis for real. It's a game, everyone. Play the game. Who's going to win? Who's going to have the best one? Who's going to do it? Are you guys affiliated with the FBI, female body inspectors, and then the U.S. Department of Breast Services? They handle enforcement. We handle regulatory compliance for chest-based affairs only. We also work with the Paranormal Investigation Bureau. Oh, by the way, this is actually real. Memes aside, this is 100% real. This is the actual Elon Musk account. A verified Mario gave everyone the middle finger, and President Biden is talking about sucking his own penis. Never stop memeing, Elon. Yeah, Tesla's what 177 right now. Can you meme Tesla all the way to 69? I bet you can get it to 69, and that would be epic because that's the number it's the sex number. Like it's about sucking someone off. So do that. That'll be funny. Felicity owns slaves. I'm not even lying. Look it up. So for the actual celebrities, the super posters, the ones that make up the majority of Twitter content and why people come to Twitter in the first place, apparently, Ludwig says, I bought Twitter Blue to edit a tweet. It didn't work, and it replaced my real checkmark. So now Ludwig's old official, this is a blah, blah, blah checkmark, is now replaced with this person pays $8 a month checkmark. This account is verified because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue. Hopefully that doesn't piss anyone else off. Oh, Dream. Same thing happened to Dream. Oh, Ben Shapiro, by the way, just getting so wild. As I said yesterday, Joe Biden is going to double down on everything. No lessons learned, just triumphalism, which means Democrats are treating 2022 as a massive but rather than a bullet dodge. But in 2024 may disabuse them of that notion quickly if the GOP gets serious. And then afterwards, for some reason, I've always wondered what a woman's body feels like and looks like in real life without clothes. That would be so cool. Don't know why the real Ben Shapiro decided to say that. Ted Cruz and Ben Shapiro got fucking so horny with each other. The first time I entered my human wife, I said, "Groaning." I'm gonna have trouble getting through this thing. Ted Cruz, the actual Ted Cruz, said, the first time. Oh, you heroes! Thank you all thank you so much for your service. I'm so proud of you. As a lover of comedy, I'm so proud of all of you. Elon is such a genius. This is the best possible way the site could have gone down. It honestly, I'm so happy you have given us all a gift. In an age, things are scary, we got pandemics, possible nuclear war, fucking the rise of fascism globally, but you fucking heroes, you lined up to spend $8 to fucking do so much funny shit. The chaos energy of this website now, it's just like, oh man, I forget how someone described it. It was like, this isn't just a car crash, this is a car crash where both cars were filled with glitter. Because it's unbelievable. Okay, I can do this. So I've been in media for some time. I have a broadcaster voice, so I'll even do it as a broadcaster. The first time I entered my human wife, I said, groaning into her ear. This is exactly how mother said. I failed. Good thing that wasn't. Good thing that wasn't a challenge. Oh my god. Oh my god, you got me kind of horny right now, Mr. Cruz. Cruz, have you ever tasted the entrails of a man? There's no carnal pleasure. It's delectable. Oh my god. Oh, not all heroes wear capes. That's what we all have to realize. There's a second part to this one. I gotta see if I find it because I don't think it's in this post, but it's well worth all your time. Have you ever tasted the entrails of a man, Ben? There's no carnal pleasure. That's delectable. And the real Ben Shapiro says, Ted, stop. They aren't supposed to know about us. Like, and again, this is why it's restoring my faith in humanity, because this shit has to be a zoomer. This is too weird to not be a zoomer. This has got to be. It's like, I have no idea what's going on. That makes it even better. Like, oh, Elon. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just unbelievable. So, how are things going, you might imagine? Because again, 85% of Twitter's revenue comes from advertising, and now they've basically demonstrated that there's no way in hell anyone would ever go to the site other than to just laugh hysterically, because it's a complete and utter clown show. So Elon at 2:30 a.m. sent the first tweet to his staff. The first email to his staff. As you well know, all staff in Twitter have staff emails, and so Elon does have the ability to mass email all of his thousands of Twitter employees simultaneously. This is what the email says. Sorry that this is my first email to the whole company, but there is no way to sugarcoat this message. Frankly, the economic picture ahead is dire, especially for a company like ours that is so dependent on advertising in a challenging economic climate. That's a really fun way to word it, eh? A challenging economic climate. You gave everyone the power to become Nintendo of America and flip the rest of the internet off. That is challenging. I will say, it is quite a challenge to try and go to a brand now and be like, do you want to give me money to be on my app? Be like, I think we're already on your app like 500 different times. There's like 500 verified accounts. No one can tell us apart. Moreover, 70% of our advertising is brand rather than specific performance, which makes us doubly vulnerable. Like, the meritocracy is not real. If there was any holdouts, any last weird nerds who are still fucking like, Daddy Elon, you're so smart, like, he's gonna send us to the fucking moon and shit, like, he makes us doubly vulnerable. Challenging economic climate, like, you can't pretend something else is going on when we have watched you publicly broadcast this. Like, we all get to watch now. We get to see what's happening. You can't lie about this. You can't be like, well, it's a winter economy, really. Challenging economic times. It's really hard to find brand advertising that meets our needs and fun. Like, no. You gave, this was you. You gave everyone the power to be anyone on the website. There's absolutely no way to verify if information coming out of Twitter is real. This is all the funny stuff, by the way. The Ted Cruz, Ben Shapiro fucking horse porn shit. That stuff is funny. But what's not funny at all is that, yes, verified bot accounts, malicious actors can now look and sound like the real news for a little while. We're probably a day or two away from no one ever trusting a tweet. Like, my tweets are most likely not going to end up in news articles anymore or magazines. Just like a lot of other people's won't, because again, it's just like, was that the Serfs or was that like Surfy Suck 6950? See, look at the name. It wasn't actually at the Serfs TV. It did have a check mark. I understand why you might have been, fooled. That is why the priority over the past 10 days has been to develop and launch Twitter Blue verified subscription. Huge props to the team. Without significant subscription revenue, there's a good chance Twitter will not survive the upcoming economic downturn. We need roughly half of our revenue to be subscription. Of course, we will still then be significantly reliant on advertisers, so I'm spending time with our sales and partnership team to ensure that Twitter continues to be appealing to advertisers. This is the space discussions that Robin, Yoel, and I hosted today. Links to a Twitter space recording called Elon Q&A, advertising in the future. The road ahead is arduous and will require intense work to succeed. We are also changing Twitter policies such that a remote work is no longer allowed. Unless you have a specific exemption, managers will send the exceptions list to me for review of an approval. Starting tomorrow, Thursday, everyone is required to be in the office for a minimum of 40 hours per week. Obviously, if you are physically unable to travel to an office or have a critical personal obligation, then your absence is understandable. Oh, it's so nice. What a friendly guy. I look forward to working with you to take Twitter to a whole new level. The potential is truly incredible. That's the one part I completely agree with you now, Elon. If the genius of you is just the chaos energy that you have brought to the internet and the world at large, then perhaps maybe, yes, you truly were the most brilliant human being on the planet. I can't deny that. Unfortunately, things aren't going so well. So, according to messages shared in Twitter Slack, Twitter's CSIO, the Chief Privacy Office, the Chief Compliance Officer have all resigned. An employee says it will be up to engineers to self-certify compliance with the FTC requirements and other laws. So here's where things get super interesting. The idea of engineers self-certifying compliance with an FTC consent decree jumped out to me as patently absurd. So I found and read the consent decree. This thread discusses how the policy violates that decree and why I believe these people have no option but to resign. Below is the relevant section of the consent decree. It is available here. In this thread, I will go for the various issues. Twitter agreed to maintain, quote, a comprehensive information security program that is reasonably designed to protect the security, privacy, confidentiality, and integrity of non-public consumer information. Having engineers self-certify probably isn't a comprehensive program. However, even if it were considered a program under a board definition, it certainly is not one in which the reasonable design to protect non-public consumer information. Twitter agreed that such program, the content and the implication of which must be fully documented in writing, shall contain administrative, technical, and physical safeguards appropriate to the respondent's size and complexity, the nature and scope of the respondent's activities. First, I don't think a Slack message would satisfy the in-writing aspect, but in addition, Twitter has apparently provided no guidance as to how to self-certify. It also lacks any safeguards, as safeguards inherently imply a force keeping the engineers in bounds. In subpart A, Twitter agreed to the designation of an employee or employees to coordinate and be accountable for the information security program. It appears those people just resigned. Self-certification is not in coordination and lacks the accountability of the program. Subpart B concerns the development of safeguards and requirements thereof. Presumably this was already done for a specific program before it was put in place. I think it violates the paragraph just to ignore the prior development process without conducting a new one. Long story short, Elon is actually in a bit of fucking trouble right now. This is getting very serious. Now, do I think this is gonna get him in jail? No, he's white and rich, so yeah, I don't think that Elon's gonna go to prison or anything. But he could very well suffer more catastrophic financial damage than he ever assumed possible. Because he's already bleeding money. He's selling Tesla stock. I think he sold about 4 billion of it to keep Twitter afloat, because Twitter is just not making money anymore. It's just costing fuck tons of money. Like, it's still unbelievably expensive to run something as large as Twitter, where over 200 million human beings use it on a daily basis. Yes, that is a very expensive operation if you don't get any ad revenue. If the ad revenue just turned off, that was 85% of your revenue, well then, yes, you do have a very big problem on your hands in order to, again, keep the lights on. He memed himself right into the sun. He's going to meme himself directly into poverty, to be honest. This is absolutely massive. Twitter has absolutely no one at top familiar with their FTC consent decree. Elon is flying blind without adequate legal counsel and likely asking employees to commit violations of federal law. Hopefully those employees clue into this very quickly and are like, oh, so I have to resign immediately because I do not want to violate federal law, and so it's not worth it for you, sir. Whatever weird experiment you got going on here. Like, the only thing that you've done in terms of change Twitter that I can see is got rid of all of its ad revenue, and you've got Ted Cruz and Ben Shapiro talking about how they want to fuck each other as horses. That's what you've done to this company. That's what you pulled off. And fair enough, I can't imagine a lot of other people who would have done that. So you are unique in that aspect. Like, not a lot of people, you did this in like less than a week. So that is saying something, okay? But I don't think it can be considered brilliant, unless that's what you wanted. This is an admission that Elon is willfully violating the FTC consent decree and violating federal law. How much longer before the feds get involved? And yeah, the feds will be getting involved is the thing. And again, because all of this is being broadcast on Maine. So it is so much worse than Elon thought it would be. Do you remember 2 weeks ago when I read you that article from The Verge that was basically like Elon, and that one didn't go this far, by the way. That article was basically saying you can't have it both ways. That you're going to be living in a hell of your own design. You can't either be the free speech absolutist and still expect this company to get any advertising revenue. So you either piss off all the right because you're not going to bring back people like Donald Trump and stuff like that, or you piss off both sides, which is what actually ended up happening, because you don't provide unlimited free speech, and at the same time, advertisers will not want to deal with whatever is happening in the middle of this. So, holy shit. Elon loaded Twitter up with so much debt he'll have to sell within a year or liquefy everything. But the thing I'm wondering, because someone else told me that, who would buy this? Who would buy this clown asset? Like, I mean, I'll buy it for $20 because I think it's funny. I'm not going to take on any financial or fiduciary responsibility. I don't know who wants this. Who wants this sinking ship, you know? Like the Babylon Bee, maybe, because they finally, for the first time ever, they would be funny if they owned Twitter. They could at least say they have an asset that's actually hilarious. That's the very first time in their lives, you know. Peter Thiel, yeah, maybe Peter Thiel. But see, if this thing is going to be under an FTC investigation, again, no one is buying this. There's no one who's going to be like, well, this seems like it could potentially, I can steer the ship, you know, catcher and buy it to own the libs. They're already violating the FTC order. Twitter has a compliance notice due to the FTC today, 14 days after the change of control. Godspeed to the poor bastards dealing with that. Ugh, that sucks. Yeah. Huh. Does Twitter have any employees left who remember that the company is under a strict consent decree with the FTC? I hope so. I've made a hard decision to leave Twitter. I've had the opportunity to work with amazing people, and I'm so proud of the privacy, security, and IT teams and the work we've done. I'm looking forward to figuring out what's next, starting with my reviews. In a note posted to Twitter Slack and viewable to all staff that was obtained by The Verge, an attorney for the company's privacy team wrote, Elon has shown that his only priority with Twitter users is how to monetize them. I do not believe he cares about the human rights activists, the dissidents, our users, our unmonetizable regions, and all the other users who made Twitter. I mean, I don't want to be the one to have to tell you this, but like it kind of seems the way that billionaires operate are like sociopaths, in that they do not genuinely care about human life or society at all. They've gotten to such a point where they kind of disconnect from the fact that there's like 7 billion other people on the planet. Like, how else can you have 6 men, and they're all men, how else can you have 6 men own half the wealth of the rest of the planet and think that's okay? And not be like, this is fucked. Like, it's just it's like cartoonishly fucked. Like, we are beyond evil. Like, even the worst villains in Marvel films don't do this shit. So yeah, I imagine he does just see human beings as monetizable. He treats his employees like garbage. He forces them to go back to work, knowing full well some of them can die from COVID, refuses to let them unionize. You can see what he's already done to Twitter. Like, if I was an actual Twitter employee and I found out that Elon Musk was being forced against his will to buy the company, I would have been so scared, genuinely, because it's like, look the way he treats Tesla employees. And like, he did the same thing. He expected all of the employees, he fired half the staff, and then expected the ones that remained to work twice as hard for him so he could push out this Twitter blue checkmark idea, which I'm sure all of them are like, oh God, don't do this. If you do this, Twitter will become unusable. It'll be just a fucking troll factory. Memes will fly, but sir, it'll be a disaster, blah, blah, blah. And can we even begin to discuss the human rights violation potential that this thing has? Because like, there's other parts of the world where Twitter is being used, fucked up shit can go down, and we don't have the staff to try and prevent this. Like, Twitter has actually started revolutions. The Arab Spring was because of Twitter. So we do have a responsibility to be very, very careful with what we do, sir. I don't want to be a part of this, you know? Like, goddamn, for the memes. Musk's new legal department is now asking engineers to self-certify compliance with the FTC rules and other privacy laws, according to the lawyer's note and other employees familiar with the matter, who requested anonymity to speak about the company's permission. That is not something you can do. Anyone who works at Twitter needs to know that self-certifying something violates the FTC consent decree and may be tied to a prison sentence and huge fines. This is not how any of this should be working. Stanford's Rihanna Pfefferkun has said, who used to be an outside counsel for Twitter, has a great Twitter thread explaining the many ways in which this is fucked up. Oh, I haven't even read this. This is not how this works. This is not how any of it works. Disclosure. I used to be Twitter's outside counsel, and I spent most time on loan from my firm to the in-house legal team in 2014, but I have little personal knowledge and no privileged info about their security controls. As this story shows, the world's richest man does not experience human concerns. Per this, the exceedingly rich were no longer even remotely human. Consequences like taxes are for the little people. Billionaires' brain damage. Normal companies have security and privacy controls and care about legal compliance, but this is not normal. That's what has people worried. The chief twit's track record shows, but that's illegal, isn't usually a pervasive argument, so too here. In 2011, Twitter agreed to a 20-year FTC consent order over its data security practices. In May, FTC fined Twitter $150 million for violating the 2011 order and issued a modified order. If Twitter so much as sneezes, it has to do a privacy review beforehand. There are periodic outside audits, and the FTC can monitor compliance. Per the order, a small team of senior executives is on the hook for making privacy and security decisions which are legally binding on the company, and a senior officer has to certify compliance with the order annually to the FTC. This everyone must self-certify thing is nonsense. Dollars to donuts, the small team mandated by the FTC order equals all the people who just quit. So here we are. They're violating the FTC order already. Twitter has a compliance notice due to the FTC today, 14 days after change of control. Godspeed to the poor bastards dealing with that. Under the May order, the FTC can demand additional compliance reports, documents, and info from Twitter, and can review employees if they agree to an interview. This is Twitter's fucking ex-counsel, by the way. Like, there's no better source in this than one of their old lawyers. Hiding information from the FTC is a federal crime. Just ask Joe Sullivan. There have already been one Twitter whistleblower. I bet there'll be more if people are quitting and getting fired because they're being asked to do illegal stuff. Maybe there'll be whistleblowers even before they bring people in from the other companies who won't do what they wouldn't. Like, the thing that sucks with all this, by the way, is that, like, he'll probably get away with it. Like, he'll fucking lose an insane amount of money, like enough money to have ended world hunger probably like 5 times over. So that's fucked, and that's sad, but that's just capitalism. Like, that just makes perfect sense to me. But he probably won't go to jail, just because, like, when do rich white dudes end up in prison for fucking over millions, if not billions of people, like, ever in America? Like, it's America, you know? I mean, maybe in Greenland or Iceland that would be something that people catch, but like, in America, I totally believe he doesn't care about any FTC order and wouldn't hesitate to violate it even if it bound him personally, like the FTC Drizzly order. He's shown he's not afraid of the SEC, but regular mortals do worry about jail and lawsuits. That's why this is, like, That's why this is really sad. Because, like, the people he's forcing to do this and forcing to commit federal crimes, they probably could go to jail. Like, low-level employees, low-level engineers who aren't aware that what they're doing could constitute a crime, they could be the ones that fall on the sword before Elon does. He has all the money in the world to hire the world's most expensive legal team and try to fight all that kind of stuff, right? Elon helped Doja Cat change from Christmas. It's still Christmas, though. I'm assuming that Doja Cat hasn't found that yet. He's the boss, but he's not a god. His whims are not self-executing. Nobody in their right mind would be like, yeah, sure, I'll self-certify to the FTC compliance. I'll FAFO whether he gets investigated for perjury. Even in a tech recession with job scares, he just ain't worth it. Hopefully. I really hope no one does that. Just for their own sake. Like, it would be a fucking horrible way to go. For Elon, you would have to be an Elon sycophant to fucking, like, roast yourself just to, like, you know, meet his whims. I can't wait for the next album from chart-topping artist Christmas. That's a good tweet. I'm not in the habit of stealing my chat's tweets, but that's a half decent one.
Whoa, who's that famous guy over there? Hey, dude, come on. Oh, dude, this is nothing. This dumb thing. It's just, I'm the same old guy that you've always known. I don't want you to think that you have to treat me different or anything.
Wait, can't anybody get one of those now?
Well, do you have one?
No.
Well, I guess you answer your own question, bucko.
How is that verification?
If you don't have $8 to give to a billionaire, then do you really have anything worth saying? I run a crypto blog and I own 6 businesses. Hold on, I got a call from one of my investors. Hello, Mom? No, I'm in a meeting, I told you. Yeah, I'll be home by 9.
What is the point of this? I don't understand.
Listen, Elon Musk has this whole thing figured out, okay?
What is Elon Musk gonna do to Twitter that?
Well, for one, make comedy legal again. Like, when did the N-word become such a... If Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, is stupid, then I'm stupid. Oh no, I said a word. Take me away, PC police. This is an investment, okay? I have dozens of followers. Did you know Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates didn't even go to college?
Elon did go to college.
Have you heard of the exception and not the rule? At Elon, check your DMs. I have a business proposition for you. Oh, by the way, I got some NFTs here in case you're trying to buy. I'm pretty sure my dad, Elon, knows way more than you do.
Dude, I could just go buy one of those right now.
Well, no, you...
Hey guys, just want to thank Joe Blasters for...
Ian Kung is the one who made that sketch. I thought was pretty funny, pretty telling. Also, by the way, you know the world's richest men, including Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, 11,000 people just lost their jobs, just lost their healthcare, just lost fucking, like, yes, they will most likely have no trouble finding new jobs. It's not going to be like the end of the world for a lot of them. They're not going to become homeless. They are going to get unemployment insurance. Like, yes, I know. I'm not trying to state that I don't understand how the world works, but that's still fucked. And this is, again, why I have a very big problem with capitalism. Because of these fucking dictatorships. Because if you have these dictatorships where thousands and thousands and thousands of people's lives are on the line, and you have these weird evil nerds who were like, I think the future is putting on a heavy mask and everyone will fucking live in a world as artificial as I am. And people are really going to want to go into VR chat but actually do their jobs all day. Like, who in their right mind didn't tell him how bad that idea was? Again, I'm a jabroni on the internet. I was like, oh, that's going to tank. That's going to take so hard. So many reasons. I mean, I could just tell you from the get-go, VR is cool, okay? VR is fucking fun, but very few people have it. You need to have a very high-end processor, and then the additional thing is like $500 to $600 to get that. Not everyone likes VR. VR makes some people sick. VR makes some people get weird forms of like nausea, and like, I know people who can't even do it for like 2 or 3 minutes. Even if the technology is great, it's still 2 TV screens in front of your eyes like this. Do you think people are going to want to spend 8 to 9 hours in this virtual world doing menial tasks that they don't enjoy doing in regular life, like their jobs or shopping? How did you ever think this was, and you want people to pay for certain things, to pay for digital assets, to pay for a fucking fake boat, and it costs the same as a boat in real life. This is so fucking foolish. You will lose everything if you do this. Your company will tank. This is not like, anything else, sir. Anything. Mark, I know you want a human so bad, and this is your new idea, that because you can't be human, you want no one else to be. So you want everyone else to be I get it, okay? Dog, I see what's going on, okay? The writing's on the wall. Everyone says you're not a real person, and that hurts you, and you're sad. So now you're like, well, what if everyone else wasn't real too? And it's really, it breaks my heart, you alien man. But like, still, at the end of the day, don't do this. If you do this, we will all lose our jobs. You will fucking blow this company up. You know how we were talking about all the problems of social media and also the problems inherent to capitalism? How like the problem with capitalism is that it actually influences politics eventually, and these companies form monopolies and gobble each other up on all this stuff. And that's the problem with the Democrats. The corporate Democrats are in the pockets of the Silicon Valley. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, they get fuck tons of money from Silicon Valley, which is why they fight up against people like Elizabeth Warren, who are like, we need to do antitrust laws. We need to break these companies up. And so because of this, we're stuck. You know, the government doesn't work for the people. It works for the corporations. Everyone at this point is getting pretty wise to this. This is why corporate Democrats are scum, as are Republicans. This is not news to any of you. You're all lefties. You get this shit. But maybe this was just the way that we set up this system that is inherently self-defeating, because these apparent alleged super geniuses, like Facebook, started because Mark Zuckerberg was horny on Maine. He was just a dude being fucking horny, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna make a hot or not, but instead of being like the hot or not webpage, it's gonna be all the people in my school, and then people get ranked on whether they're hot or not. Okay, I'm gonna add this, you know what, I'm gonna up this. I'm gonna add another college, and we'll do a hot or not for that one too. Yeah, now I'm gonna add another one. Okay, let's add a whole bunch more. Holy shit, a lot of people are using this. Oh, this is really popular. And then along comes like Peter Thiel, the venture capitalists, you know, and the what is it, the Winklevoss twins, and they're like, hello, hi, hey, I see you've invented a thing that lots of people use. We're gonna give you a lot of money to turn it into something that most of the planet uses, and then we're gonna want lots of money back, and that's how this is gonna work, and we're gonna become some of the richest people on the planet, and that's it. A neo-Nazi in charge of 2017 Unite the Right rally is verified? No way. Emily Gorsenki? What? Jason Kessler happenings. Veritizeitzer account. The main organizer of the neo-Nazi Unite the Right rally, who prompted Twitter's change to verification policies in 2017 when his checkmark was revoked alongside Richard Spencer's, has unsurprisingly bought back a checkmark. Oh my god. Yeah, for a price, neo-Nazis can become verified on Twitter. Who could have seen this being a bad idea?
It's been just over 2 weeks since Elon Musk entered Twitter's headquarters.
I still can't get over this. Like this story is just like, and again, maybe it was just a self-defeating prophecy. Self-defeating prophecy all along. Maybe like Zuckerberg, Elon, all of them. Like, I make fun of Jeff Bezos because he's a weirdo who has a fetish that he doesn't want people to pee or poo, and he wants them to hold it in for as long as possible. That's his fetish. That's what gets him off, and that's really fucking weird. I'm gonna kink shame that fetish. That fetish is destructive. It's cruel. It's inhumane. So yes, I will kink shame Jeff Bezos because he just loves the idea of no one pissing or shitting and filling up with piss and shit. That's really fucked up. You're gross. But at least he's a competent CEO. I can't take away the fact that he's actually running a business as you would expect someone to run a business as a ruthless capitalist. That's Jeff Bezos. These other clowns, they are just the example of human beings failing upward in every respect. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, just a fucking horny, evil nerd. Elon Musk, also a horny, evil nerd. Both of them are just horny, evil nerds, and they've been given unfucking checked amounts of power in human society. And then this comes along.
Carrying a sink. And since then, Musk has learned one huge lesson about social media. Advertisers run the internet. Now, Elon seems like a fairly smart guy. I'm sure he kind of knew that already.
Well, this is, by the way, one of the reasons why the right still hasn't really figured out a lot of the problems with capitalism and like, do you remember, so the right used to be the free speech people, right? They were like, we care about free speech, and now they're all fucking snitches, piss baby snitches, every fucking one of them. Have you seen the snitching going down on Twitter right now? Every single one of them is completely fine adding people, and then all of a sudden being like, yo, this person is making fun of you, Elon. Yeah, roast him, Elon. Oh look, they're gone. Nice. Okay, I found another one. Oh look, I got a lib who's making making fun of you, Elon. They're all snitching so hard. So it turns out they never cared about free speech at all. But what they didn't understand was this rule, this principle. These massive websites that dominate the internet, we have the illusion, like all things in life, that there's a lot of choices under capitalism. When you walk into a supermarket, you know how Bastia like soys himself when he goes into, he's like, oh, the option, look at all the food. But you don't think that it's only 11 companies that produce all the things you see. Even if you see thousands upon thousands of products, 11 companies own all that shit. 5 media companies. All the media you consume most likely is coming from 5 different companies. That is fucked. That is in no way, shape, or form healthy. The internet is no different. Only a small handful of companies control all the websites you visit every single day. A lot of those websites are not profitable in and of themselves. What they do have is people speculate and put money into it because they believe in the idea of future investment. And what people also profit from it is advertisement revenue to keep the lights on, by the way, not exactly to make money, or selling your data. That's it. So the idea that human beings use this and millions or billions of them use this is going to be profitable to third parties and usually bad actors. But that's how the whole system works. And the right hasn't figured that out. So if they were going on Twitter all the time, just fucking beacon off and talking about how, hey, this is not the free speech platform. What's going on? I don't understand this. Why are we all getting censored? Why can't I misgender people? Why can't I say the N-word? Where's the free speech, Elon? You just want the free speech to be able to be a racist, transphobic dick. That's what you think free speech is. I have a right, a fundamental right, to be a fucking asshole. That's free speech to me. That's what all of you were. You don't actually care. And so because none of you can operate within the bounds of human decency at this pace, like the majority of the rest of the world, the libs even, and the centrists are like, yeah, I'm not going to be a dick. There's no point in misgendering someone. I know how to use pronouns because I'm an adult and I've used pronouns my whole life. I've figured that one out. So I'm probably going to use the pronouns that someone wants me to use and not just intentionally misgender them. It's only the right to the far right who are stuck in that fucking, the dark ages of human decency. It's just them. So they thought there was a bias. They thought that Twitter was an inherently liberal, biased website, and they were wrong. Twitter, as actual studies and data have shown, were actually amplifying right-wing voices in the algorithm more than they were left-wing voices because, surprise, surprise, these companies that want to turn a profit want to keep you and your eyeballs on that company for as long as possible, so they would promote incendiary content. But there's a fine balance, because that balance has to be struck with corporations. These companies, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Tim Hortons, all these big names, Marvel, Disney, all that shit, they don't want to be on the Nazi website because it's bad for their brand. Their brand is everything. When you think of Coca-Cola, you think of Christmas magic and stuff. When you think of Disney, you think of family fun, family joy, all those kind of things. That's what their brands are so precious to them to keep and protect. So that's the reality of the situation. They just never clued into any of this. Newest Ben Garrison cartoon, better be horny. Better be horny as fuck. I want to see fucking just like cum lining the walls. Ben Garrison's election notes, the new face of the Democratic Party. DeSantis steals Trump's thunder, popularity. I wouldn't know this was popularity if you hadn't put it there, because these are thunderbolts, but now I know. Thank you for labeling it. What I expected to happen didn't happen. I feel like this is just like a diary. Not the way we expected. Biden takes credit.
Obviously, he didn't truly grasp how real that is. The advertisers run the internet. Take YouTube. Last year, they made basically all of their $28 billion in revenue from advertising. Facebook makes about 97% of their money from ads, while for Twitter, it's about 90%. Compare that to Elon's businesses. Tesla famously doesn't even advertise their products. SpaceX basically just sells their services to governments via humongous contracts. The Boring Company seems to be a D2C flamethrower business or something. And Neuralink, well, spent about...
Holy shit, look at this. Random fact, Musk paid minimum wage under California law, never accepted it. Musk is the chief executive of Tesla, the world's most valuable car maker. Was. I don't believe it is anymore. What is it now, 188? Elon Musk's net worth of $174 billion could buy 102 million troy ounces of gold, 1.88 billion barrels of crude oil, and is equivalent to the GDP of 0.757, the GDP of the United States, 2.5% of this total wealth of the 500 richest people, 44% of the top 100 U.S. college endowments, 2,460,512 times the median U.S. household income. Cool stuff. Tesla's in free fall right now, and keep going, Elon. everything you are doing is resulting in you just losing more money more rapidly. The only sad thing, I guess, is going to be walking away from this. Elon should have fucking, like, the amount of money he'll lose, he could have, again, solved world hunger, I think a couple times, right? But, like, didn't he do something? It's like, people keep telling me that I could use my money to do something good, like solve world hunger. I'd like to know a number. And then, like, some institution was like, oh, we did some calculations for you, sir. For 1 year, for you to end world hunger, it would be $6 billion if you want to. And he was like, okay, sure. And then just never did.
About 25 minutes on their website, and I still don't really understand what they're up to. Seriously, though. Twitter and the world of advertising is a new space for Musk, which may explain why advertisers are so freaked out by Elon, and why they're abandoning the site in droves. So let's dig into what Elon actually did to scare off the advertisers, and why his strategy to fix things might not be all that effective.
Is there a chance Elon shorted his own companies to make more money? I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. He's successfully done really
To
weird
understand
moves
why
like that
advertisers
before.
abandon Twitter, you need to first grasp what sort of player Twitter is in the digital marketing space. And to put it simply, it's a minnow. Despite Elon's boasts about record-breaking usership, the site still has very few monthly active users when compared to the big dogs. Biggest of all is still Facebook, with 2.9 billion monthly active users.
That's wild. That's wild. Still, it's because Facebook successfully penetrated so many other parts of the world. Like, their user base in amongst youth is plummeting, and their user base in the West is plummeting. And that's one of the reasons why the writing was on the wall. Like, there's a finite amount of time that this is going to continue as everything is going like that. But instead, Zuckerberg fucking threw all his chips into Meta.
Then there's YouTube with 2.5 and WhatsApp with 2 million. Rounding out the billion club is Instagram, 1.5, WeChat, 1.2, and relative newbie TikTok with 1 billion monthly active users. So Twitter must be coming up soon on the list, right? Well, not exactly, because Meta has another entry next with Facebook Messenger, followed by China's version of TikTok Douyin, then QQ, Weibo, Kuaishou, Snapchat, Telegram, Pinterest, and then Twitter.
Wait, Telegram is beating Twitter? The Russian fucking alt-right alternative to Twitter is bigger than Twitter? Fuck, I guess I gotta get on Telegram now.
With 436 million monthly active users. Now, over 400 million people isn't something to be sniffed at. But considering the cultural weight that Twitter holds, it doesn't have as many users as you might expect.
Telegram is a huge website,
I mean,
wow.
Snapchat, a company that millennials forgot about and boomers just...
Well, like, I see everyone is jumping off to Mastodon. I have a Mastodon account, by the way. I just don't ever use it because I found, like, Mastodon has the same problem that, like, a lot of the right things had. It's like, it's a hyper echo chamber. It's like, you have to join the Mastodon server of your choice. And I know you can switch between the different servers, but when you join one, because I joined like the LGBTQ plus one, and don't get me wrong, I love all my fellow, you know, queer, amazing based ass people. But like, I was in that Telegram and I was just like, we're all just, you know, saying things in a circle, like gay people are awesome, and they are, and you know, it doesn't have this, like, the addictive properties to me like Twitter does, because Twitter I can look up Steven Crowder and then I see what he said that day, and then I can be like, here's why you're fucking wrong, bro, you know, kind of stuff. It's pronounced Mastodon. Oh, sorry, Mastodon. Well, there we go. What about co-host? What's co-host?
know for their pics has more monthly active users than Twitter does. And Pinterest.
Don't get me wrong, I'm going to need an alternative. I don't want to give up my Twitter addiction. I love being able to fight the baddies. I love being able to yell and scream at right-wingers and fucking ruin their day. If I can get under Tim Pool's beanie, it satiates me. I need that. You know, it's not even for the tears. I just like fucking blowing up their really bad takes. But I don't know where I can do that. Like, there's the True Social, Parler. I don't want to generate revenue for them. I don't want to generate content for them because they are just like fucking far right to alt right circle jerks. You know. What about troll on Facebook? I mean, we do have a Facebook account. It's really small though. Co-host is cute and run by lefty folks. It's co-host. But I need everyone to be on it. It can't just be cute. Posting but better. Co-host is a new social media platform built from the ground up by a small team of developers and designers who like sharing things on the internet. Algorithm? What algorithm? All your follows post in order they were posted in a timeline that goes vertically. Oh, wow. That would be wild. Why isn't this the thing? This makes so much sense. Oh, because it's not as profitable. That's why. But like, yeah, you follow like 1,600 people on Twitter. I follow like 1,600 or 1,700 people on Twitter. I think maybe 50 to 100 of them are the same ones I see all the time. And sometimes it's people who I do not follow, but the algorithm's just like, I know this will piss you off, Lance. I'm like, whoa, that does piss me off. Well, I gotta generate some more content for you right now. It's like Tumblr. It's more like Tumblr than Twitter. I need my Twitter fix. I need text, video, and picture.
Pinterest has more users too, and you've never heard anyone fret about Trump starting a war via his home inspiration board. That's because Twitter has this outsized influence.
Wait, Andrew Tate is fighting Jake Paul? Oh my God, no way. That's one of those fights where I just want to see both of them beat the shit out of each other until they both like double KO. Like a double KO would be the best possible outcome for this fight.
Because of who it attracts: politicians, journalists, trendsetters, and decision makers. Now, these people give Twitter a real advantage in some ways.
No matter who wins, we all win.
It doesn't have the massive audience.
That's true. It's rare you watch a fight where every single blow that's landed, you're like, yes, 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 oh yes, yes.
That other platforms do, which, circling back to my original point, is why advertisers have always considered Twitter to be a fairly insignificant player in the space. It's certainly a good place to chuck a bit of extra digital marketing spend, but ignoring some specific brands and demographics, it's never been the primary focus.
Yeah, I mean,
for
two hardcore
and
misogynists, both accused of rape, knocking each other out.
Twitter in a tricky spot. Advertisers aren't overly invested in or reliant on Twitter. So if they get spooked for any reason, then they have no real motive to stick around.
That's a good frame.
This is something we've seen on other platforms too. YouTube famously had its adpocalypse, when advertisers became increasingly concerned that their brand names were being placed alongside unpalatable videos. And advertisers quickly remedied this by removing all of their ads from YouTube. But this was a big call.
By the way, this is all for show. Just keep in mind, like YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, you name it, doesn't matter what tech company they are, they don't care about actually protecting LGBTQ people. They care about being as safe and pretending they do so brands don't leave. Like if YouTube actually did, half the shit that's on there, Matt Walsh on YouTube regularly generates money for them, spouting the most hardcore transphobic shit you can imagine. And nothing is done. Nothing is done about it. YouTube is just like, we just, like, no, they don't give a fuck.
YouTube is massive for advertisers. Billions of people use the site every month, and it represents a huge chunk of ad spend. So if advertisers were willing to pull ads from YouTube, a site they rely on, they're going to be even more jumpy and cautious when it comes to Twitter. Now, to be fair to Musk, as he said himself, he hasn't done all that much to scare advertisers yet. Sure, he's announced some weird things, he's made some odd political statements, and shared some boomer as hell memes, but he's not changed much to do with advertisers. And despite this, advertisers are still pulling their money. So why? Well, Elon represents an existential risk to advertisers. What he's...
Whoa. Crazy update. It turns out Steve Jobs wasn't, or actually didn't die. He's alive. So the real Steve Jobs has just tweeted, "Fucking Kyle Rittenhouse paid for his verification. El bozo." That's pretty funny. Thanks for teaching me this, real Steve Jobs.
Promising a more free speech social network is scary to them. And if they got jumpy when YouTube's ad placement risks some dodgy pairings, they're not going to love some of the even less brand-friendly stuff that Elon wants on Twitter. And even if that doesn't really happen, just the prospect of a Wild West Twitter is damaging. Twitter's advertisers very often bulk buy ad space well in advance. So if they're worried about the future of the platform, they're going to buy less or no space for the coming year. Now, a lot of those sales happen at big...
Who the hell is Steve Jobs? was he the founder? He was like one of the key founders of Apple, along with Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak is the actual genius who did a whole bunch of crazy work. Steve Jobs is just the egotistical maniac who's like, I want this. And then Steve Wozniak is like, that's impossible with our current technology. He's like, make it happen. And then Steve Wozniak, being the genius, was just like, brrr, and there's like coding, and then made it happen. And then all of a sudden it was like, yes, we have done it, you know, kind of shit.
Big events like Twitter's New Fronts, which happened before Elon's takeover. But this year, things went a lot less smoothly at the event, when executives were unable to reassure advertisers about Elon's
still pretty cool,
approach
actually. I mean,
and
there's
changes, telling them that they honestly didn't know what Elon's
people worth
future
like
plans
800
would
million
mean
dollars,
for the
but cooler.
business. And it's this very uncertainty and confusion about Elon's prior remarks that led to major advertisers pulling budget from the platform, taking a huge dent out of Twitter's operation. That makes perfect sense. Musk might want to claim that this is some kind of left-wing orchestrated.
You're basically repeating everything I figured out, and I didn't do any research. Okay, I went live, and I was live, and I did a whole thing on this, and I did it in real time. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arnie, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.